A motion to go out of closed session.
I'll second that. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Out of closed session.
It was a nice air movement.
Yeah.
I know.
So in the essence of time, let's move along, have the claims done. We are down to approving resolution 2020-13, authorizing a final departmental appropriation of transfers for this fiscal year of 1920.
You have a copy of that in your packet. There's only one department we need to do this for, and it would be for $2,000.
I'll make a motion for resolution 2020-13, appropriation transfer of funds.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Transferred. Now, appropriate budget for next fiscal year 2021.
We'd like to do this at the very end of the year for the fact that when we roll around to July 1, then we don't have to have you come in and appropriate budget so we can write a handwritten check or do claims. So if we do it this last meeting of the month, we can have everything ready July 1st.
Okay.
I make a motion to appropriate budget for 2021.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. I need the authorization for me to sign the library contract for next fiscal year 2021.
Okay, the libraries had asked for a 5% increase in their contract, so according to their agreement, the money is split. $38,134 is a given standard, and then you subtract that from the total to come up with $59,171.54, which you split between the libraries according to the formula that's on the agreement.
All right, I'll make a motion to authorize the chairman to sign the library contract for 2021.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None.
So you got lots of signing on the backside of that one.
Ratify the action to authorize the chairman to sign a letter to Governor Reynolds on vetoing portions of House File 2643, which was mailed on June 24th.
Is this per year
Yeah,
letter?
that's my letter, yep. Is it in here, Peggy, and I'm missing it?
I don't know if I gave you copies of it because they had seen it before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But if
I've just
anybody needs
seen,
to see, I've got a copy
I've
here.
just seen the email.
So,
I would make that motion.
I would second it, and I would also like to put on there, thank you for staying on top of that fiasco.
Yeah, you wonder how stuff like that happens. I really do. I think they just get brain dead at the
2,
end.
3, 4 in the
Yeah.
morning, the way it
It was
sounds.
actually 4:00 in the morning, and we, I was listening in on the, ISAC call that all the different, districts, and then, of course, the board was on there too, but everybody was totally against it because it takes away from local,
Mhm.
Except for one.
this one, except for that one.
Yes,
And we know the one.
yes. So, it was unanimous, pretty much, I mean, I shouldn't say unanimous, because not all of them, but I mean, a general consensus of everybody just could not believe this happened.
Well, hopefully she'll take our advice.
So, we really do.
She's a fairly intelligent woman, so.
I think she'll see that.
So, do we have a first and a second on
Yep.
that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Did I already sign that?
Yes.
Yeah, it was already mailed.
All right, authorize chairman to sign a GSAB 75 actuarial service agreement with Howard E. Nyhart Company Incorporated.
We used to have Nyhart do an actuarial for us every 3 years, and this is required in GASB 75. So now they are doing it every year. I called and talked to Tim McCartan at Anderson Company, and he said that's kind of how it's supposed to go from now on, is every year instead of every 3 years. So their fee is $2,600, and if we wanted them to do an alternate method, of 2060. Tim didn't feel like we absolutely had to do that, but
Got a question. So we used to do it every 3 years,
right.
and now who's telling us that we need to do it every year? The state?
Whoever does GASB's, yeah, it's the state federal requirements.
You know, send them the bill.
Yep, I'm sure they'll pay it.
So now
We were paying them $2,600 for 3 years, now we're paying them $2,600 a year.
I don't remember what we were paying them for 3 years. I don't think it was 2,500, I think it was a little more than
I was
that,
gonna
but
say
I can look
something.
back.
It'd be different if like every 3 years we paid them like 7,000, then I could understand it.
Right,
Yeah.
but I'm sure it isn't that much different.
No.
So would you recommend which one, Peggy?
Yeah.
He said the first one, the GASB 75 actual update using alternate measurement method.
Okay.
And then we just won't request the alternate measurement.
So it'd just be the one fee of 2,600.
Yeah.
I'll make,
Go ahead.
I'll make the motion to authorize the chairman to sign the GASB 75 actuary service agreement with Howard Iger.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
There's your copy this time, Eric.
Okay, now we need to accept and place on file the Central Iowa Juvenile Detention Center audit report for fiscal year 2019.
You had mentioned to be watching for that, and I think it came the very next day.
Mhm.
So it's right on the table if anybody wants to look at it.
Right there.
Just an FYI, according to the marathon, meeting on Friday, everything looked good. There was, everything was in order,
Just a
and
little light reading.
just a little light reading is right, so it all looked good according to the presenter.
Motion to place on file the Central Iowa Juvenile Detention Center audit.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? On file.
And going along with that, Peggy, with that on Friday, the comment was, they asked how many of the counties, what they're gonna do with the courtrooms and sanitizing and whatever. The majority of them said nothing.
Really?
They're not gonna do anything.
They're gonna let the courts decide, because the way it sounded, if you tell them this is what we plan on doing, then they can change, so wait. They're gonna just kinda sit and wait and see what they decide that we need to do, if we need to do something, rather than volunteer to do something. That was the majority of the county's response, so, not trying to throw any gas on the fire, but that's what they asked, so.
All right. Now, approve the hire of Kerry McCarthy as a full-time Humboldt County Emergency Management Director, which is effective July 1, 2020, at a salary of $49,188.
Now, is that 32 hours or 40 hours?
Full-time.
I don't know, I got these questions too.
I-
Hold it.
She's got the answers.
I've got all the answers.
Oh, go ahead, what's the answer?
Okay, first off, the, Emergency Management Board met Thursday, or Wednesday, and they decided to go ahead and do this and promote him to full-time. So I asked Dan Scholl to give me a copy of the minutes, so we had something to put in the file, and it says just this. So when Dan brought it in, I asked him, is it 32 hours or is it 40 hours? And he said, well, we never really discussed it, but it was our understanding that it was a 40-hour person. So even though it's not in the minutes, that is what Dan
That's
said.
what they were trying to get rid of on the last one.
I was gonna say, did we change
Don't
anything?
cheat.
They jumped us into 32, or 40 hours from 32.
And then said she was gonna get overtime to be
Safety.
safety
Yeah.
and zoning and everything else.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's just what he said.
So,
He told me that he was interested in taking safety over.
let's, I'd make a recommendation that we,
Table.
let's get our motions on this and then...
Well, they've already hired him. All you guys are doing is approve it so he can be paid.
Hey,
You can't deny.
You can't
You
deny.
can't?
No, this is...
No,
only-
it's-
You have-
Management board does that.
Clarification.
Yes.
Yes, maybe we can we do that
Yeah.
before we approve it?
Do it.
Seek clarification on this, because we
I
don't,
see clarification, yeah.
let's table that till they give us more information on his job duties and...
Yeah.
And-
I would agree.
Fine.
If he's taking on some of these other things, I'm fine with
Job
it, but...
description without hours and
Yeah.
expectations.
You want job duties and hours, is that what you're asking for?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
I can ask him for that.
Yeah,
You make it to the meeting?
Yes, I can speak to, it is, and that clarification's fine, I got no argument, but it is considered full-time, so it would be a 40-hour.
So 32 is considered...
32 is full-time.
so my question is...
Well, I guess if you wanna get that, there really wasn't a discussion between 32 and 40.
42.
So are we still sharing him, or is he...
No.
He don't work for Algonah anymore?
I really don't believe so, if he does, he will not. It would be, the clarification, if you want 32 to 40, but, you know, full-time is, you know, whatever.
Mhm.
And, it was at that, I mean, yeah, we can get the clarification, specifics.
The main clarification, is it only emergency management? or
Yeah.
Is he taking on safety?
Well-
What were the other jobs we had?
All
Had
we
safety?
have said is emergency
It's
management.
only,
If
there's
the
no
board wants-
discussion.
They had safety, HIPAA...
I've heard,
and other stuff.
explain it.
If you were to add safety and any of those other things, those are under your control, not emergency management.
Mhm.
So you guys would have to do that. Emergency management can't say, we want you to do safety, or we want you to...
Yeah, well, maybe we need to have a
That's you.
conversation with them before we approve this. Can we meet with their board here?
You could, if they could get one put together. I mean, we've got 2 weeks before another payroll. He's gonna have to be paid in
2 weeks
a
or...
couple weeks.
Yeah. I imagine we'll hear from them if we don't approve this.
I'm guessing.
It might be maybe better to have, like, Dan and maybe some of the officers come.
Yeah.
There is an executive board on the emergency.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get the executive board to explain it, or if you can meet with the executive board, bring it back to us.
I can. You, tell me what specifically you want the clarification on.
And hours,
Hours?
and the time, what his job duties are gonna be. If he's on 40 hours, does that include the safety and HIPAA like we had him before?
Like Peggy stated,
It's up to us on that,
like
but
Peggy stated, only thing that emergency management board has control over is emergency management. Correct.
But if they
And
put
if
it,
they
if
have
the
it-
thing is, if they put them at 40 hours, there is no room to add the safety
That
on
was
it.
exactly, otherwise you're paying them over.
Well,
Then it'll pay
just a
them.
question, so I can get the clarification right.
So that
Is
is-
there any, we have the other thing covered, I know you're the safety. Is that, and we just had a discussion with Scott today, where normally, they list the emergency management director as the safety person.
Mhm.
That would, I guess could ask if that could just go along with the duties of the emergency management.
I would change it to Ben, if it were me. Ben's doing the safety training already.
Are you comfortable, or are you not trying to get out, in all fairness?
Why not have him report directly to Ben instead of going to
Yeah.
him, who hasn't done any of the training or scheduled
Are you
any
True.
training?
safety training now?
That's fine. Our one got canceled, that was scheduled for April 1st because of this whole COVID thing. They were willing to send their trainer over, but she was currently doing Prestige once a week, and I didn't want to bring
No.
that.
No, it'd be good, good idea.
Oh.
So you're okay with the safety aspect?
Yeah, I mean, it's a non-paying
Right.
job. you
And
know,
you're there
that
anyway.
we have. Yeah, it doesn't take up an abundance of time, you know, I mean, the biggest headache is trying to line everybody up for a odd day.
Mhm.
And what Scott was doing this morning with the insurance is having someone be the safety person, so ICAP had somebody to report to, or somebody call.
Contact.
Well, they already call you and I and have us sit in on all the loss control and all
Yeah.
and that's what he was talking about. So I thought, why put someone
Else
new in
there.
there?
In there.
Why not just leave it? But I
Okay.
didn't speak up then, because I thought, you know, Scott,
That's,
think
no,
about mine,
that's
but...
fine. I don't think we spent anything out of the safety budget this past
Mhm.
year. Yeah.
Well, Scott mentioned that they have people that can come in and do trainings too, you just gotta work with Scott, he'll get you into their safety coordinator. They'll be able to give you material, first person to do it. I used to do it all the time at Jet, I bring people in.
Can I make a motion to table this until
Yeah.
next meeting, until we get a little more information on ours?
Okay.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor, table?
Aye.
Opposed?
I would just like clarification also that he is not going to be working up north also. So that he is gonna be here full-time.
Yep.
Dan
So I got-
told me that he was.
Okay.
That,
What he's gonna do full-time.
Well, that's my
Salary.
I
question.
just wouldn't
'Cause
know.
it-
410s, 5/8s.
Thursday,
Yeah.
he was sitting, I saw the pickup over by Rowan. And I didn't know if he was broke down, or if he was on his way to a training somewhere, or, so I was kinda, but I didn't know,
Is it enough job, I mean, is it a full-time job?
That's the argument we had with the last one.
That's when,
I am on that
that's
board.
what I thought.
Yeah.
I have been involved in all of this. It really certainly is. If you get into all the particulars, there is a lot involved because not very much was being done, we found, as a board, as the EMA board. Got more information looking at this and getting him in an interim position, that, there's a lot of stuff that was non-existent, that needs to be existent. Some things are state mandated, emergency management, that were not even being handled.
Okay.
I can understand the clarification. I will get that from the board, executive committee, and get back, so next week,
Yeah.
we got
We need a little more information.
Basically got a table for a week on that. Okay, gotcha. Approve the fiscal year 2021 deputy salary certifications for elected officials.
You should have in your packet ones for the auditor, the treasurer, the recorder, and also the sheriff.
I got a question on them. Why give one 80% or 85% and the other one 70%?
Are you talking sheriff or what are you talking?
well, you,
Well, on the first page there, Diane's at the recorder, you got Price at 74%, and you got, Olson at 85%. What's the difference on them?
This is her choice.
that's her,
That's her,
You know, you got enough friction when you get a bunch of gals in the office. I shouldn't be
Why is it
saying
just
that.
transferring the sheet?
No,
What-
you should not be
What's the
saying
sheet
that.
on the assessor's office?
Don't,
She has reasons for what she has,
This is,
She's got a reason for it, so.
and this is what she has put in her recommendation. Same as sheriff
I was
deputy.
gonna say, they're all
Some are
like that.
85,
They all
some
have
are
their
82.
different levels.
I see that.
And it has to do with their, what they physically do in the office, I'm sure, and
and their responsibilities.
Service, I would say, duties and years of service, does that kind of go into the
Yeah,
Peggy?
yep.
Okay, I make a motion to approve the deputy salary certificates for elected officials.
I'll second.
any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Now, we need to accept the resignation of Ashlyn Davis as Humboldt County Jailer effective July 10, 2020.
Cory was in and explained this whole thing to us, so I'll make that motion.
that was yesterday, wasn't it?
It felt like it.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion?
Aye.
Okay.
Excuse me.
All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carried. Now, approve the hire of Ashlyn Davis as a Humboldt County on-call jailer as needed, effective July 10, 2020.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Right. Approve hire of Kathy Fishenhacker as Humboldt County part-time jailer retroactive to 6/22/2020 at the rate of $14.84 an hour.
I'll make that motion to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
That could be a spelling bee.
That would.
I
There, right
would never
there.
get that one. Let's run through our committee reports briefly.
Okay, Tuesday, 5:30, I had the regional landfill meeting in Fort Dodge. It only lasted 3 hours. I know, it's amazing. There's...
A landfill meeting?
A landfill meeting. 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Thanks.
It's a huge board, is some of the issue, and we got a lot of talkers. But, basically, they were looking at going out and getting a new garbage packer. You know, you spend $530 or $750 and get the Cadillac one, you know, and things like that. And then there's an issue with part of the old landfill, the south end of it, is sliding down the hill to Gypsum Creek, I think it's called. And they got a engineering firm that's come up with a design to stop it from sliding down the hill. It's gonna be millions.
Wow.
Yeah, millions to fix it. Of course, the DNR says you gotta fix it.
Right.
So that took a long conversation. And then on Wednesday, morning, we had IDDA down in Fort Dodge at Webster County, they hosted it. And, basically, I think we approved John Tolbert for a 2% raise on that. The budget looked pretty good for next year. Talked about a lawsuit that Hardin County is appealing. They wanted to appeal the decision to the Supreme Court because it didn't rule in their favor with the railroad. But we did not sign on with them because we think they don't have a leg to stand on. The way they went after it was totally wrong. So we decided not to send them a letter of friend of the court or whatever.
That was the Iowa Drainage District
Yeah.
Association said they would not.
We decided not
Send a letter of
support. Right. Even though, you know, it really wasn't the railroad's fault, it's just an old tile that needs to be replaced, and they wanted to stick the railroad with 50% of the bill. But, and their reasoning was, it costs 10 times more than it should because of all the regulations that the railroad has to follow from government stuff for safety and all that crap, you know, so, that was it for me.
All right.
2 meetings.
Tuesday, I stopped at, or I actually visited with, Ron Reister, Clarion, Iowa DOT, tried to get some questions asked for Trish for this deal over here by the railroad trestle. Hopefully they're gonna fix that. I put a copy in each one of your drawers of the racetrack. I got thanks to the Fair Board. Paul Davis gave me a copy of that, so we each have a copy, and Trish has a copy in there, and I'm gonna get a copy to Ron, so that when they fix that, either this week or next, they have an idea where the pipe are. Tuesday night, I did a Zoom meeting on Udno. Everything's running pretty smooth on that. Thursday, I stopped in to visit with Ben for a minute on a couple of topics and stayed around for Steve Illig's retirement coffee. Just an FYI, Ben must have bought cookies, and he had the good taffy cookies.
Oh, he had the good ones?
Coconut cookies.
Those
I
are
made
good.
the mistake of telling some of the workers, you gotta try those cookies. They liked them.
Yeah, they're good.
Thursday night, I had the CFR meeting, listened in through that. Everybody trying to move the meeting up, make motion up, you know, it's just like...
Yeah, I know, I hate Zoom, God, I hate it.
Then on Friday morning, we had the juvenile detention conference call, which we had 12 people on waiting for, them to let us on. Well, they gave us the wrong numbers. We're all in this conference call. Everybody's, what's going on? Why won't they let us in? So I sent Tony a message, said, we're all here. Well, then he, all this number. Then we're all hanging up.
Calling back.
That's how we got through, but that was a 2-hour and 40-minute dissertation. But when you only have a meeting every other month, it takes a while to get all your stuff through, but that was all I did. And try to work.
Yeah, and start working with me, yeah. Okay, Monday, we met over at the Pocahontas Courthouse to go over some of the CSS stuff, trying to figure out what our moves were and what we were gonna do, and, that was Monday. Tuesday, on the ISAC, Education Committee for District 2, so we were putting together, what we felt was gonna be the new supervisors training for, next year, because there'll be new supervisors on. We also talked about the certification for supervisors. It sounds like a really good program, to be certified as a supervisor. And then, just other, when we go to our ISAC meetings, what are some of the, things that we'd like to see for, for our meetings and things like that, for educational, things like that. I keep bringing up leadership. I think that's we really all need a lot of leadership. I mean, we all do. I mean, we can all go through leadership things, but it's always good to get, another perspective or things like that. So if there's anything that you guys would like to see on these, at these meetings, let me know, and I'd be more than glad to bring it up, to see if we could get that put on. And then,
Those cookies.
cookies,
Sandy, on your education committee, was that by telephone?
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, that was Zoom. That was a 2-hour one also. And that was on the 23rd. Okay, then the 24th, we actually went to Mason City. We were able to social distance. We all, pretty much most of us wore a mask and everything. But anyway, we went over there. We thought it was better. It's too hard to do these by Zoom. You got too many important issues to talk about, and you can only hear sometimes half what everybody says, or somebody interrupts. So there was still, on the phone, there was still 50 people on the phone. So when we do have these Zooms, you're looking at usually around 45 to 50 people on Zoom. It's just crazy. So, Bob Lincoln, gave his official resignation, or we had to approve his official resignation, and now we're in the process. We've got the job posted for a new CEO of CSS, County Social Services. We gotta make sure that, Kent knows it's not community social services, it's county social services. But anyway, no, everything, I think, is going well. I'm on the HR committee also for that, so, I'll try to keep everybody abreast, and I'll work very hard to keep it hopefully going down the right avenue. Not that I know everything, I'm learning all this. I mean,
We appreciate it.
there's so much, I've been on this a year and a half, and there's still so much to learn. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Wednesday the 24th, I had a Midas meeting. It was supposed to have been at the Fort Dodge Library. So I went down, nobody there, so I went over to Midas office. And they're sitting in there, each individual sitting in a room, one of them come out, one of the planners come out, and he said, well, since Kathy broke her leg, it's a Zoom meeting. Well, I didn't get the email, so I was in Fort Dodge for the Zoom. I sat in my vehicle and listened to it on the telephone. That's the only meeting I had.
On Monday, June 22nd, that afternoon, I had a building families meeting via Zoom. That was my meeting for last week. I do have one thing to ask Peggy, and this is something from a couple of weeks ago, the solution, this one right here, and what was our protocol with this? We needed to make some, we're supposed to look this over.
I just asked you to look at it, and if you had more questions, we could have them asked. it on. Sometime I brought my copy too, because I didn't know if you...
Do we need to do anything, official action-wise, or,
Only if you're gonna proceed with any of his recommendations.
and we are not,
Because on some of those, I'm sure there are costs involved,
Mhm.
but,
Right.
I guess he doesn't really say a specific cost.
no.
That's why I thought maybe it'd be best to either invite him or, 'cause I don't really know, I don't have the expertise to figure
No,
out
I
what we
don't think
need.
any of us do. Do you have any thoughts on,
I have some concerns with going too far with it.
Yeah,
I know that it never hurts to have more security on your system, but I know he even commented to me when I asked him about it, he said, we can do whatever you want, we can make it as tight as you want it to be, but you're gonna have complaints from your employees.
right.
But they can't use it.
Yeah, you can't use it. So, like I had commented before, I use it so many times when I'm looking for supplies. When we went into COVID, it's like, where can I find masks? Where can I find hand sanitizer? Where can I get these things so the courthouse is covered? And how can I share them with everybody else? This would not let me do that. You would not be able to go out and search. I mean, you would be locked, And he said you could designate certain people and say, okay, just those people can do this. But what if you're gone and you wanna have your deputy do it or something? Or what if Ben wants to look and he's gone and he wants Sue to look?
Mhm.
She wouldn't be able to do it. So,
Well, the other thing is, take a
There are,
look, Diane came
you know-
down and threw that in your lap, and you're buried in your office with enough of your own work. If you were the person, I guess that that would be extra work for whoever has the capability of
They
getting
already
it.
use it, yeah.
yeah.
Do we have anything that if somebody goes into a site that they shouldn't go into, does a pop-up come up? Do we have anything like that?
Yeah, we do have some, because I've had that happen before, and so I just back out of it and go somewhere different.
So as long
Some
as we
things
have
of mine
those-
automatically go like in the junk folder,
Yep.
and when I look at it, I'll think, well, I really probably should put it in the inbox, but if it's there in the junk folder, it's there for a reason, and you just get rid of it.
My theory is if it's important, they'll contact you again,
Yes,
yeah.
because so many times you get
That's
something from
outrageous.
somebody that looks like something else. I mean, it looks like them,
Mhm.
but then it's not, and I have even sent one off to Solutions around election time, that I said, I know this company, and I know who these people are, but it's election day, and I'm real nervous about opening anything up where they could get in and hack anything. And they said, looked at it, and they said, it's legit, it's okay, but thanks for asking, because those are the things you should be asking.
Right.
But in this thing that Max sent us from Solutions, it does give some good training for employees on, how to look for some of those sites that aren't what they say they are, and how to, just different things they shouldn't be doing. They shouldn't be going out there looking at, coals while they're here, and, the things that can bring into our network, yeah.
So do we need to move forward with anything here, or it's, you're the one that obviously has the experience and the utilization of it. Do you feel that we need to do anything differently? Do we need to have Max visit with us?
I think
or
we should have.
have him at least visit, and then
Yeah.
maybe some questions, because you mentioned maybe some training or something, or that, maybe...
And it would be good when he comes, if we had, like, elected officials and
Yeah.
department heads here.
Yeah, everybody
Because
here
maybe
listen.
there's something Ben has to have access to, that they would say, oh, I'd lock it down, it wouldn't let you get there, or something to that effect.
For the most part, I think we are separate from you guys.
Okay.
Out there, I know we use, Sue is actively using Solutions for 90% of her job, but like me and Dave don't use Solutions at all.
Okay.
But yeah, I would want Sue here for anything, or any changes that we're looking at doing with Solutions.
Yeah.
Mhm. Be a good idea.
Would you wanna touch base with them and say,
Can.
do you wanna do it in, say, 3 weeks? Or, what his schedule, we're gonna be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whatever would fit into him, and if he,
Then I think we would all understand it
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
And then if there's anything that does need to be changed or upgraded security-wise, or just some of the things to watch out for. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay, sounds good.
I just didn't want to let this languish, so we will do that. Does anybody else have anything else?
Okay. anything for it, Patty?
Just wanted to let you know, I did get Sandy signed up for the NACO meeting, so that when the credentials are ready, Bill Peterson can grab them and vote for us.
Perfect.
That
Good.
was taken care of. We did receive another opioid update, there's not much information on that. I did send a note up to John Beatty, I haven't heard back from him, I'm assuming he's getting these too, like we are, and if some action needs to be taken, he would, but I'm not positive, so I haven't heard back from him yet.
Anything else in particular? Anybody think? Anybody?
I don't know if anybody's noticed, the new bench is out front here, it looks very
Saw a
nice.
picture of it.
Out here, and they did fix the leg on this one here, and it looks like a back leg needs some work on it too, so I said something to the guy about, could you get us a quote for fixing that leg too, it's kind of fallen off, and you can see the rebar in it, so. Didn't take him long to replace it, he has a hoist, he lifts it up, they unscrew the leg with, has a couple of screws in it, and put the new one on, and glue it in.
Good.
Good deal.
All right.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are